everyone and welcome back. Today's video is about art. So I would like to discuss about the painting essentials that we need as a beginner and also how to get started. You might have heard people saying that it takes talent to paint, and it is often thought of as a kind of ability that comes without training, something that you're born with. But I don't believe in that. In my opinion, talent is a skill that is acquired and developed through practice. It requires greater willpower and enthusiasm to achieve something. So just like any other subject, art is also a subject, and when you learn, it has set of rules, and when you learn the rules, when you know how to do it, and when you're enthusiastic about it, then anyone can do this. So when you decide that you can do art and you want to do painting, it could be many reasons, as a hobby or as to make a living. It could be any reason, but once you decide to go with the painting, then there are few essential things that require for painting. Number one painting essential is picking your medium. There are four major choices and options in mediums: oils, acrylics, watercolors and pastels. There are other mediums as well, but most popular are these ones. When choosing a medium, there are advantages and disadvantages in every medium. So which one to go for and which one to choose from those options is really to your personal preference. But I've tried oils, acrylics and watercolors. I haven't tried pastels yet. But everything has their advantage and disadvantage. When it comes to oils, oils is a traditional artist's medium and is a pigment mixed with oils like linseed oil, safflower oil, and thinned with turpentine. So basically there are lots of varieties in oils. I have few, I'm showing few of them. This is Acrylics Loft, and it mentions on the tubes like oil. And Winsor and Newton, this is one company, one brand. I like this one. And these are the ones that when I started initially, I just picked these smaller tubes like that. They come in a pack. And then these are by Daler Rowney, and this is by Reeves. So these two brands. Once you are starting as a beginner, I would suggest go for multiple packs in one set and smaller tubes. Then you can play around with the colors, and also you will get confidence. Then you can invest in good quality paints. That's my suggestion. I did the same, and also for the colors, you don't need many colors. When picking colors, it's just 5 colors. There usually you will get a color wheel chart where you can mix and match colors to get one new color. In a learning process, you should be doing that. Initially, when I started painting, I used only 5 colors. Basically, first few paintings I only used 2 colors, which is black and white, and then after that moved on to 5 colors like burnt umber. I'll show you what colors I'm talking about. Most of these 5 colors, you can mix them and get new colors, and you can work on building more colors. That way you learn which color to go for and what is preferable for your painting experience. The main advantage with oils is it takes slower drying time, so you have a few more days to work on the canvas, on your painting, and easy to blend. Lots of techniques are achievable with oils because of the drying time, because it dries slowly. This is more preferable. But the disadvantage is, as it has got chemicals in it, and it's really not that good. Some colors like cadmium and these things are not good for your health. And cleanup requires solvents, so which takes a little bit of time to clean the oil paints. It needs turpentine and mineral spirits, which has a little bit of odor to them. If you don't like odors, you can go for odorless solvents. Next comes acrylics. Acrylics is actually a more modern choice, and they were only available from 1950s. But for a beginner, they are really easy because it doesn't require much cleaning time, and the solvent that we use is water. Not be like turpentine or mineral spirits, anything. We don't need those. And cleanup process is also very easy. And there are lots of brands in acrylics, but as a beginner, you can go for simpler brands but I would suggest, as you go a little bit further towards the painting, invest in good quality paints and good quality brushes. Then that would save your a lot of drying time, and it gives a lot of leverage to the painting. You have more flexibility to paint. But initially I went with this Artist Loft acrylic, and it mentions on the tubes like acrylic paints. And also golden acrylics are really good. They are very popular, but they are a little bit expensive. Golden acrylics drying time is a little bit more compared to these brands. They dry quickly, and when you have paint on your palette, they dry quickly the next day, these ones. But golden acrylics, they stay wet at least for a couple of more hours. That's the advantage. And the downside to it is they dry fast, and you have limited time whilst your painting is responsive on the canvas. So that's the only downside. But with golden acrylics, that problem will also be solved. So it's just up to your preference. And when it comes to watercolors, they are generally considered as most difficult to pick up due to water. You're not able to rework on them, as paper can only absorb limited amount of water. That's the drawback. Once you master watercolors, they produce amazingly stunning paintings. When it comes to brushes, go for something that comes in a pack, like less expensive starter packs, and see which shapes and brushes you like. Because the initial stages, we make a lot of pressure on the painting brushes, and they spoil quickly. These are my first brushes. As you can see, they have worn out. And as you get experienced with the brushes, then definitely invest in good quality brushes, because it's well worth the money, as they keep shape, and they have that smooth and nice texture to them. There are many shapes of brushes, like filberts, fan brushes, round brushes. That's a detailed video again I'll do in my next art video. In a pack, you get all sorts of varieties. Just check them and feel, explore with them on the canvas. Then you will get to know which brush does what. So that way it will be easier for you. And next comes canvases. There are different sizes of canvases to go for, and these are pre-primed canvas. That means usually when a canvas is made, it's either cotton stretched or other material. Then sometimes they are not primed, so it's important for the paint to stick and not to absorb into the canvas. It needs to be a layer of gesso on the top. So pre-primed canvas have already layer of gesso on it, but as a general good rule of thumb, I would suggest you to paint a thin layer of gesso on it. That way your canvas is more hard, and your paint won't be absorbed, and you get good results. But it is not necessary if it is already primed, so it should be okay too. But usually gesso is something that is similar to acrylic paint, but it is much more in thinner form, and it comes in white color. So what it makes is, it makes the surface harder, and it won't let the paint absorb into the canvas. That's what it does. Next we need easel. Depending upon the size, it folds up like that, and depending upon the size of the canvas you have, go for smaller easel, or if you have a bigger canvas, then you can definitely go for the bigger easels, and they are adjustable as well. But first, as a starter, I picked this one because I worked on smaller canvases. And after this, you will need a palette. So I'm using this palette. This is a glass palette. They are necessary to mix the paints, so palette is necessary, and also a container to either for the solvents like turpentine or mineral spirits, or for water for acrylics, and a rag cloth. I usually use cloths. I don't use paper towels, so just a napkin or a rag cloth to wipe your paints and brushes. And I would recommend 2 containers, one to clean your brushes and one to mix the paint with the solvent, either water or turpentine. That way your water is not murky, and it will be true to the color. So basically that's all the painting essentials we require as a beginner. I'll talk about more detailed stuff in my next art videos. By the way, I do lots of different other videos like plants, cooking, art, and reviewing luxury products, all these things as well. But I have made a playlist in my YouTube channel, so if you want just a specific one, you can go to that specific playlist and you can watch those ones. So basically that's all about today's video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.